What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and we are here for part 2 of our Madden 21 realistic rebuild of the Carolina Panthers, and we are actually live. 2021 first round pick 13. We ended the first episode with you guys having an opportunity to kind of convince me what direction we should go here at pick 13. I pretty much was convinced there was one way of doing this. You guys in the comments wanted to go another way, and I think it actually makes more sense to do it the way you guys suggest. But before we kind of break that all down, very quickly, looking at our team, this is a team that is pretty goddamn competitive. I mean, we're entering this draft needing really a guard, a tackle on the offensive side. Defensive side, maybe a younger D tackle to kind of groom and be the successful heir to K1 Short. Maybe it's definitely a strong safety could be considered, but the biggest question was the quarterback spot. Teddy Bridgewater, at its core, I mean, he's not a guy that is a liability at quarterback. He's 79 with a start. He's only 28, so like you at least a year, maybe even 2 before he starts to regress. However, the fact that our offense, in terms of skill position players, will probably, it's almost peaking. We got 99 McCaffrey. Robbie Anderson's probably not going to get that much better. We do have Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore locked up long term, but the fact that this was still the best that Teddy Bridgewater could give to us. 30 rounded up, 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 20 picks, had 3 rushing touchdowns. So he finished with, about 4,000 total yards, 29 touchdowns with 20 interceptions, plus, actually, he didn't have any fumbles. It's okay. I'm not seeing a guy here that's going to kind of transform this franchise. So we entered the draft understanding those positions of need, and I thought for sure that literally when you open up the draft board, the first quarterback there, this is a match made in heaven. Trey Lance already seems like a guy that would be a great fit in Carolina with Joe Brady. And I thought, 100%, everyone was going to say get Trey Lance. And while I would say it was probably about 40% saying Trey Lance, more people wanted to see Zach Wilson. Now, Zach Wilson is a late first rounder, projected to go in the second round. And I get it. While you can tell from a Madden standpoint, from a draft class standpoint, might not be the same overall. I'm all about giving the people what they want and giving them an interesting quarterback, and I guess there's not been any Zach Wilson rebuilds. So I was like, you know what? Either one of these guys, they've yet to be using a rebuild, and it's like if I go Zach Wilson, it's not like there's plenty of other teams that we will be able to make, the Trey Lance rebuild in. So I was like, all right, more people wanted to see Zach Wilson, but there's a caveat. We are sitting here at pick 13. There is no chance that I'm going to draft Zach Wilson at pick 13. Everyone in the comments that was saying, get Zach Wilson, wanted me to trade back in the first round so that, we can move down, 10 or so spots into, 25 to 32, somewhere in that range. Get Wilson there and still be able to accumulate, I don't know what you'd get, a second, third round pick, add more draft capital. And if I can do that, I will do that. I actually think that is probably the best plan. So full kudos to you guys. However, I haven't even kind of cheated to see what kind of offers. If I can't get at least a first round pick in return, there's no way I'm flipping pick 13 for a future second round. It's not like I have to move this pick, and I will stay put and get the higher rated quarterback we assume in Trey Lance here at pick 13. But I do now want to make the top priority. Can we trade back? So let's review our offers here. Pick 13, a 2, a 3, and a 6, a 2, a 2, a 3, and a... See? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why would I make this pick? And then the argument comes in, there's definitely going to come a point in time where we get Zach Wilson. And that will not be when we're picking at pick 13, because there's a pretty good shot that Zach Wilson will be available. When we're on a rebuild with a team that needs a quarterback, that we're picking in the 20s something. We're one and done in the playoffs, and we got to replace a veteran. Right now, top 15, Trey Lance is a first-round talent. True first-round talent versus a mid-second round talent. So we're going to have to kick that can down the road and go at pick 13 with the best player available. See, now I kind of want to go Zach Wilson. But you guys were saying Zach Wilson only if we could trade back, which made the most sense to me, and I was agreeing with it. Those offers were straight up disrespectful. So our replacement is going to be Trey Lance. Oh, wow, that's not... number 24 in true value, getting him at pick 13. Only a 73. Thought it would be higher. It's my own draft class. Thought it would be higher. Well, that's what I do. I get the ratings reshuffled every now and again to keep me on my toes. 73 hidden dev. Trey Lance at a North Dakota State, trying to follow in the footsteps of Carson Wentz. We got 91 throw power. The accuracies actually aren't particularly amazing. I mean, athletically, 87 speed, 89 acceleration is very good. The change of direction, all of his ball carrier moves are exciting. The throw on the run, 87 break sack. Throw on the run, 83. I mean, all those numbers are good. I now would have to question, what is Zach Wilson's stats? What does he look like? I cannot remember for the life of me, but this is our guy. Put that in the back of the brain. We were not getting any trade offers. Zach Wilson could not be whisked and willed into existence in this rebuild. We stayed at 13. We got Trey Lance, and now it's time to build around it. We have our new franchise quarterback, and with Teddy Bridgewater, maybe we could flip Teddy at some point in this draft. Maybe recoup a second-round pick and try to address one of the tackle, guard, strong safety, or D-tackle positions. So a team that 100% I think would be interested in Teddy Bridgewater would be the Washington football team. He definitely does scream like a Ron Rivera quarterback, and they did not draft a quarterback here in the first round. So we're very close. Teddy for their first second-round pick, so that's pick 2 in the second round, which is absolutely like as good as we're going to get. Because let's be honest, I think you probably could get a 2 for Teddy Bridgewater. But, we're going to have to give up something here. So we'll give up a 6. The needle does not need to move a whole lot more. So a Teddy Bridgewater and a 6th-round pick to get pick 2 in the second round from Washington football team. Again, just showing our full commitment to Trey Lance as the future starting franchise quarterback of Carolina Panthers. So we have 2 picks in the second round. It's interesting to note, something that we can kind of stash for later, that Zach Wilson did not make it out of the first round. It wasn't like he's one of those quarterbacks that slip. So that's good to know. Back to the positions that we need. I think we definitely need a tackle. And you're looking at the available tackles here. We have Sam Cosmi, who's a mid-second round talent from Texas. We have Leatherwood, who's a late second round talent out of Alabama, for whatever that's worth. We could use a guard, but there's not much there in the second round. We have Dylan Raduns from North Dakota State. Late second rounder at right tackle. Pairing that with Trey Lance. We absolutely need a tackle. I'm kind of leaning that way just for the story. We need a D-tackle. There's no real D-tackle. We can wait a little bit later. I need corners. We have Adebo here, who's a late second rounder. We have J.C. Horn, who got mid-third. Asante Samuel Jr., who got a late second. And we also are looking for a strong safety. And Caden Stearns is still here. He got a late second, but he's a true talent there at late second round. So what I'm thinking here, we'll go with the best and highest rated player that it's going to be Raduns. We're going to grab him. We're going to get the tackle. That's 69 with a hidden dev number 56. That is a reach. But just trying to pair him back with Trey Lance. Get some comfortability there. 56 of true value. Getting him at pick 34. At least we got the dev trait. I can tell you right now, in my draft class is lineman, because I do not go up dev traits in Madden. If you are using my personal draft classes in the game, if there's someone that's a legitimate offensive line player, this is a player that has a ceiling of good starter to Pro Bowl level, which a lot of offensive linemen that are going first, second round are going to. I'm giving them a dev trait, even if it's just something like a star to help them out just a little bit. So that's helping us out here with Raduns. Now we got to wait about 10 picks, and then we're going to make the best one available, be it a corner or a strong safety. We still probably could look at guard as well. But let's see what we got. What do we have at D-tackle? What D-tackles are still available? See, again, I think Stills, Fedarian Mathis, Vincent, Kyrie Campbell, all these guys got positive grades, and we can probably wait into the third round to get at least one of those. So then it comes to corner. Sunday Samuel is still there. We have Joe Horn's kid. Two generational football players. Is Stearns still available? He's gone. So it makes it a little bit easier. I probably was going to go Caden Stearns if he was still on the board, but Asante Samuel Jr. is here, so that will be our selection. And much like Raduns, I got pick 50 or player 58 and 59, 69 overall hidden dev. Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State. I will take the dev traits. Thank you. All right, so we're back up here. The thing about D tackles is this. Once we get past this season, we're going into Madden Generate draft classes. And there is always first-round talent grade D tackles in a Madden Generate draft classes. So it's more so we will lose a year of development for a D tackle behind K1 Short. But I just know that much like corner. D-tackle and corners grow on trees. And now it seems like since the patch, you can get a lot of linebackers as well. So I'm going to more so look at guard and or safety. We have Deontay Brown from Alabama, who's a late third rounder. We have Linderbaum from Iowa, who's a mid-second, 6'3", 300. You probably could kick him into guard. Or I'm looking here at free safety, Bubba Bolden. Now, I want to see if I can get Bubba Bolden in the 4th round. He's projected to go early 5th. Maybe I need to trade up because I think that would be pretty much running the board. Bubba Bolden, 6'3", 200 pounds, easily can move to strong safety. So we here will grab Linderbaum and move him in the guard. Or we can put him in the center and move like Parrott or something like that out to guard. Just viewing this as an interior lineman. This will be our pick. 69 hidden depth. I guess that's just what we're drafting in today's draft. Let's move right to the 4th. Come on, Bubba. Come on, Bubba. Still be there. Come on, Bubba. Still be there. Yes, he is. Bubba Bolden. Beautiful. Early 3rd rounder. Randomized. Swear on my chop. Randomized draft classes. I do not know the exact ratings of these players. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, so our draft class recap. I'm going to do this just because I'm pretty sure when I made my base roster, he was a normal dev. And I'll handicap myself a little bit because, I mean, you know, that's pretty generous to have all those guys with dev traits. So I'll knock him down. Didn't know he had a dev trait, but I will punish myself so that I don't have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with dev traits from our first draft class, my draft class. But very happy with it, man. Lance with the dev, Redunds, Samuel Jr., Linderbaum. Now we got Bubba Bolden. After that, we finished the draft by getting Nick Bolton, outside linebacker out of Mizzou, just be a depth player. And Torrey Carter, fullback from LSU, probably regarded as, I don't even know if he's regarded as the best fullback. There's a couple good ones from Oklahoma, but happy with it, man. And the Trey Lance era has begun in Carolina. So as we gear up to start year 2, here is our starting lineup. Starting on the offense, Redunds will be our left tackle. We kick Greg Little into guard, which he actually went up in overall. He was like a 73 tackle up to a 75 guard. It's a more natural position. We got Parrott at center, Linderbaum at right guard, Taylor Moton at right tackle, Jonnu Smith, who's was really our big free agency signing, now at tight end. We got Trey Lance, new man, franchise quarterback under center. Christian McCaffrey and Boston Scott will now be our 1-2 punch at running back, even though, let's be honest, it's Christian McCaffrey's job. We got DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Curtis Samuel at wide receiver as our skill position players are on point. We have one of the best skill position groups in the NFC, maybe in all of the NFL. Defensive line, I mean, the dev traits are aplenty. We actually will bump up Asante Samuel Jr. up into our 3rd corner spot. To go with Dante Jackson and Rasul Douglas. Our front 4 is Brian Burns, K1 Short, Derek Brown, and Yetur Gross-Matos. We have Jeremy Chin and Shaq Thompson, both new superstar dev linebackers. Burns, who was the defensive rookie of the year, somehow was not re-signed by the Green Bay Packers, so we brought him in as our middle linebacker. We have Bubba Bolden will be our new strong safety, as well as Trey Boston at free. Generally, even when you throw in the special teams, Joey Sly and Pellardi, this is a really good team. I firmly expect, even with a rookie quarterback, we should make the playoffs this year. If we don't make the playoffs this year, there's something wrong. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we'll play our first divisional game, whenever that is. It's not on the slate right now, so for the first 5 weeks, we will just sim our way through it. Week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. The first game of Trey Lance's career, and he falls a little bit short, 27-14. Not exactly what we were looking for. That was his first game. Trey Lance's first game in the NFL. The battle of the North Dakota State quarterbacks. And, I mean, obviously, Carson Wentz put up a little bit more points, but also had turnovers. No turnovers for Trey Lance. Definitely trying to ease the guy in. 5 sacks is not good, given how much we've invested in this offensive line. Philadelphia Eagles were able to eat. And then the rest of our performance, Curtis Samuel, 6 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Defensively, Derek Brown had 2 TFLs. We had 2 interceptions. Shaq Thompson and Rasul Douglas against his former team in Philadelphia. But that is definitely falling just a little bit flat. Kind of killing some of the hype around the team, around the city. But we have a breakout scenario here for Rasul Douglas, trying to get off that normal dev and go up to a star dev. That's one thing we do not have an issue with right now with our Carolina Panther team, and that is dev traits. We have a lot of depth traits. More depth traits than what we need to do with, and we're able to find a way to win week 2, 17-16 over the Detroit Lions. And Rasul Douglas, depth trait city. We could just not. I literally took a depth trait off Bubba Bolden, and just like that, they gave it right back to Rasul Douglas on the team, which is pretty good, and I'm happy about it. I guess we'll just kind of, this will be the last time we'll just sneak peek at the victory, and then we'll just keep going until we can get a game that we can hop in. Look at that, 17 points in the fourth quarter. Heating up. Trey Lance, not super hot. 200 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. McCaffrey yet to get a touchdown so far this season. John Smith getting his first touchdown as a member of the Carolina Panthers. We got a couple sacks there. Burns, of course, Matos, Chin, Miller, and Bravion Roy. Interception for Dante Jackson. Not a pretty win, but a win nonetheless. It's very difficult to get a win as a rookie quarterback. So we're just going to keep on keeping on. Week 3, actually, I'll do another win. Actually, I'll turn on auto scouting. I'm just not overly concerned. Just get in here. Scout auto. There we go. All right, so we're 2-1. 2 victories in the NFC least. I'm happy with that. Now we have Seattle. No dev traits to really talk about here. 2-1. Tough game. And we beat them 31-17. The rookie quarterback. Okay, we'll just look. What did he do this game? 3 touchdowns, no picks, Trey Lance. And he follows it up against definitely a stronger team in Carolina. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Trey Lance is an absolute monster, I suppose. That's what we get to. We got week 5 against Miami. Would love to roll in the bye. We'll play that week 7 game against the Atlanta Falcons. We have a breakout player ahead of this game, and it's Rasul Douglas again. Rasul Douglas looking to go from star to superstar in the same season. Week 5, Miami on the road. We just beat Seattle. We got some momentum here. 3-1, 3-1. Okay, Trey Lance is the truth. Paul Pierce gonna have to hand over his nickname. We got an injury here, and it's Curtis Samuel. That's our wide receiver 3 right there. Out for 7 weeks. Luckily, we do still have a plethora of talent at the position. Probably just get Jonnu Smith a little bit more involved. Maybe Christian McCaffrey out the backfield. It is salvageable to keep this going. And we have a week 7 game against a 2-4 divisional rival Falcons that we're going to hop in and try and take this team to 5-1. But now we finally get a first-hand look at Trey Lance. All right, first play for Trey Lance. Let's see what the kid can do. Drops back, clean pocket. Right over the middle, Jonnu Smith, the free agent, coming over from the Tennessee Titans, gain of 31. This is a good defense to go up against. Atlanta, not a particularly strong defense. We should be able to move the ball against them here. I pretty much got like a glorified verts here. 3rd and 10. Oh, that's a tough catch. Drop PI. Can't get a flag. And even after the explosive play, got to punt it. Or do we? Or do we? Mr. Joseph Sly, 61 yards. Would have been good from 62. Oh. Little check down turns into more. Let your athletes do the work for you. All right, 3rd and 4. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, lead him just a little bit. DJ Moore makes the grab. Drive continues all the way up to Atlanta 3. All right, after the failed C4 special, we got 3rd and a mile. 13, we have Guyton in the slot, playing because of Curtis Samuel. We can go to him, then we'll put respect on him. Oh, he actually gets double covered. And lucky that is not worse than an incompletion. Kick the field goal again. Get Joey Sly some action. Oh, that's a beautiful. Oh, Steve Bounce. That was beautiful. Beautiful read. The corner was freaking out right before we snapped the ball. Like, oh, I need safety help. Doesn't help. Didn't help ya. And there's a 70-yard touchdown. Our first touchdown live and in action with Trey Lance. Ah, shit. Not gonna lie, John Smith probably could have tried a little harder there. They keep giving us press looks. So I'm just gonna keep taking advantage of it. And one-handed grab by DJ Moore because he's simply phenomenal. Nice little slants, because it's what works, to Robbie Anderson. They get another touchdown quickly before the end of the first half. Too aggressive, man. We're too aggressive, we're winning! We're playing like we're chasing the game. Being way too damn aggressive. Ooh. Get Greg Olsen another touchdown. Now he's back to finish his career out. Well, they thought we were going that way too, so we'll keep it. And Trey Lance gets in for his 3rd touchdown on the day. Oh, he's wide open. Oh, he's wide open. Jonnu Smith's not going to score an easier touchdown in his NFL career. That is the threat of Trey Lance. They got to break off him because Trey Lance was going to scramble. Jonnu Smith keeps the play alive. A little bit of improvisation. And there's the dagger. This one is open. The Panthers are going to 5-1. So, I mean, pretty damn good. Minus the 2 interceptions, which were me just 100% playing aggressive. Too aggressive. Outstanding game. Trey Lance for him. I mean, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, able to chip in 48 yards on the ground. Every time I used McCaffrey, it was tough. So kudos to the Falcons' run defense. They were holding Christian McCaffrey in check, but $194 for DJ Moore. Defensively, we got 3.5 sacks, Brian Burns, 3 from K1 short. Our boy Joey Sly went 5 of 5 on the field goal game. I told you, playoffs was the goalie for this Carolina Panthers team, and I'm seeing a playoff caliber team with a chance, optimism that this could go to the Super Bowl. So we come off that victory here with a breakout scenario for Brian Burns as we get ready for this Week 8 game against the New England Patriots. Looking to become a superstar X Factor. I mean, that's going to be pretty tough. He's going to have to get the TFL. But he got, 3+ sacks last week. Should have been the same this week. I want to look at some contracts here. We do have a good amount of money, good amount of salary cap to re-sign players that need to kind of be a priority in terms of re-signing here. We'll start Dante Jackson for sure at corner. 4-year deal for sure, $36.5 million. I would like Robbie Anderson. Hey, he's 28. I don't really like the 4-year deal because when he's 32, he's probably going to be what, like 81? Is his rating really going to hold on? But he kind of makes everything go here a little bit. He's an outside player. It gives us the luxury to kind of have Curtis Samuel be more of a gadget type guy on the offense. Paredes at center, only he's looking for 1 year. Gives us 1 more year. We can kind of kick bringing in a center, having to draft a center high down the road. So actually, I'll see if I can get him for maybe under $7 million for 1 season. K1 Short, another guy. I'll respect this veteran. I love to keep him around for 1 year, and we got him locked up. Greg G-Reg, 3rd leg. If he honestly still wants to play, I might try to keep Greg Olsen here as well. I'd rather, as weird as it says, I'd rather, just for the nostalgia of it, have Greg Olsen re-sign for 2 more years versus, say, giving Ian Thomas money. But we're not looking for a tight end 1. That's why we spent the money on Jonnu Smith. Week 8, able to knock off the Patriots 23-14. Was Brian Burns able to become a superstar X Factor? And unfortunately not. A little bit of a quiet game there as we go to 6-1. And we got a big matchup here against the 5-2 New York Giants. I'm going to continue to try to feed points in here to field general for Trey Lance. Get him a little bit more of a scheme fit for what we're looking for in Carolina. He's a star dev. Again, while we did have a lot of dev traits, and I even took away a dev trait, I don't think we have anything that's going to be too cheesy. Redunds is still as a silver. Linderbaum's a silver. Trey Lance is a silver. Defensively, Sante Samuel Jr. is a silver, and Bubba Bolden probably was a silver as well. But it is what it is. So week 9 against the Giants. Can we keep it rolling? It's looking like we might be a playoff team. My God. What have we built? 24-8. Like, that's very much a playoff caliber team. But let's see if we can get a contract here. We're going to have to go over $7 million for Paredes, but we're able to lock him in. Punter, I don't really want to pay a punter a whole lot of money if I don't have to. Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with Greg Olsen. Maybe we'll just wait to the end of the season and get a true read of the tight end spot then. I'm feeling confident that we can just go right to the season's end because we're going to have some playoff football that I think I'm going to want to hop into. But we did lose to the Bucs in the division, 35-14. We have the Bills, who are another strong squad. And we're able to bounce right back, 28-14. I'm not really worried about this team. Like, usually, like, when you got a bunch of rookies and stuff like that, I'm a little worried that, like, the wheels are going to fall off. We're going to peak, and we're going to have a very, very car crash-esque finish to the regular season. And that doesn't really seem like the case, because usually that's when it would start, right? So let's see if we can avoid getting swept by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here, which we do. 23-20. And then looking at the playoff picture, we are currently the #1 seed in the NFC with a team that's honestly loaded with rookie starters. Do we have a chance to upgrade a quarterback here? Nope. All right, we'll auto spend that. We have the Saints, another divisional game. Curtis Samuel's back from injury, which is good. Another weapon to put on the offense. We've been pretty healthy. That's only been the injury that's kind of hurt us a little bit. Losing to the Saints 42-21. We have the Jets. Should be a winnable game. Oh, here comes the losing streak. Yep, there. Right on cue. Can we finish 9-7? We made the playoffs. Crash and burn. It never fails, man. Never fails. One goddamn bit. Crash and burned. That's so fucking annoying. It's every time. It's like so not fun. It's not amusing. That's like, yeah, number one seed, and then we just kind of shit the bed in the last half. And a lot of those games, some of those games were winnable. How many of these losses came against teams that aren't in the playoffs? I think that's a fair way to judge it. Playoff caliber teams on that losing streak. So the Saints didn't make the playoffs, and we lost to them twice. We have Dallas, Atlanta, and the Jets. Did Dallas, Atlanta, or the Jets? Atlanta is last place. So we lost 3 times to teams that didn't make the playoffs. We have Dallas, the Cowboys in the NFC. Dallas made the playoffs. In the AFC, the Jets make the playoffs. So yeah, it's those 3 divisional losses that kind of chap my ass, if you will. But we'll speak to the general manager here, get a little bit of, will we even get a morale boost because we lost? Usually when you roll in the playoffs, you don't get that plus 20. Whatever. Spend the skill points here so our team's as good as it possibly can here in year 2. I mean, it's still year 2. As much as I literally almost on fucking cue called the fact that we're going to collapse and lose a lot of our remaining games, which is almost always what happens when your team's really good at the midway point, because that's whatever the algorithm is in Madden thinks people want. Thinks that if you are playing franchise mode and you're simming and you're not controlling the game, and somehow, some way, through 10, 11 weeks, you're very good. You're one of the, they're like, yeah, you know what people want? People want their team just to flip that switch on and start sucking asshole. And that's what we're doing. That's where we're at. We do have 3,500 points from Matt Rule. Maybe enough. I'm going to save it and get the quarterback training boost. How about Trey Lance here for the remainder of this rebuild? But how did we stay? We still won the NFC South. 9-7. Statistically, Trey Lance peaked for sure. He absolutely peaked for sure. I thought for sure he was going to be on pace for like 35 touchdowns. And we finished with a very exciting, give me a reason to get excited with my young players. 25 touchdowns here in the Madden Sim. McCaffrey almost 1,200 yards, not bad. Receiving, no 1,000-yard receiver. Yawn. 94 tackles, Jeremy Chin, 3.5 sacks is pretty nice. 7.5 for Brian Burns. 16 TFLs. We got 17 TFLs from Derek Brown. Interceptions, 3 for the rookie Asante Samuel Jr., 3 for Dante Jackson, 2 for Brazil Douglas, who, as we saw earlier on in the season, got himself a dev trait increase. Yearly awards. MVP went to Lamar Jackson. Okay. Offensive player went to Nick Foles. Defensive player went to Donald Payne. Okay. We had no one win any of the awards. Yet here we are in the playoffs. 11-5 Bears. Let's do it. We'll just play the, like, I don't know. I know Madden 21's a challenge this year, but like the fact that I was at the midway point, I was like, man, we got something special here. To like literally just shit the bed. Like it kills all excitement that I get as a content creator. Like much like you guys watch it, you probably got the wind sucked out of your sails when our team kind of came back down to earth here. And like I'm just like, I'm over it. Like it's so predictable. Like I have an Excel sheet that I put down all the records of my teams. And like that is the number one thing. Every time that I have a good team for the first half of the season, there's just something that inexplicably happens in Madden that's like, fuck you. That's honestly what it is. It's like Madden just turns on the old fuck you sliders and eliminates any fun, any outlier season, any completely ridiculous season as, hey, at least my team's pissed off. My team right now, this Carolina Panther team, for how they finished the season, we'll view it in the scope of what happens in real life. They collapsed. They're very upset. They've seen my channel and they see that 80% of the times, teams collapse at the midway point. And they said, well, at least we were able to somehow still sneak into the playoffs, and we're going to make up for it with a 33-10 victory, where Trey Lance looked good, out-dueling Nick Foles, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, remember, that's Nick Foles that won the MVP last year. So it's a good performance. Move on to the NFC Divisional. We'll do the same thing here in the divisional round. We have the San Francisco 49ers. I will hop in and play against, well, if things get a little shenanigan-y, I'll hop in and play. But I would actually like to see the Saints. I would love to see a Zach Wilson. But, oh, sorry. They didn't make the playoffs. Psych. That's going to be a matchup, man. Zach Wilson going within the division of the Saints. And that was obviously the big decision. The big fork in the road was where we went with the draft for our franchise quarterback. It's going to be interesting for the remainder of this rebuild that we made that decision. And it's always going to be staring us in the face. But right now, Trey Lance finding a way to operate fairly well in this sim. Where was this to, like, help us get a first-round bye? You know, having to play one last game. But it's 14-14 in the second half. It's a rain game, bad weather. So usually the team with the best running back wins. Even though the 49ers are a run-heavy team because they have the most expensive ball-handing off quarterback in the NFL. But our defense is playing very well. And if we could pretty much hold on here, don't collapse. Oh, nice. I'll come in and make that. I'll try and come in and make this. Oh, no, that's a gimme. Screw that. Get me out of this. I trust Joey Sly to make... Yeah, I'm trust... They got a Hail Mary. I'll play the Hail Mary. I trust Joey Sly, but I don't trust myself with that weird kicking angle. So here we go. It's a Hail Mary. It's short because he has a noodle arm. And there you go. Carolina, just like that. 24-21 by the skin of their teeth is heading to the NFC Championship game. Trey Lance, 269, 2 touchdowns. Not really a standout game from anyone else. It really was the Trey Lance show and our defense. Carolina's moving on. Conference Championship game against the Giants. Beat the Giants earlier in the season. So maybe we hopefully have that formula, the winning formula, to take down the New York Football Giants. And on the opening drive, able to get a touchdown and go up 7-zip. And again, it's just been really Trey Lance and our defense control. Oh my God, we're going to win the Super Bowl. This is going to be a 2-year freaking rebuild. I jinxed it. I probably jinxed it, but we're looking really damn good here in the first half. Going down the field, getting conversions on 3rd down. That was a little bit annoying, though, that we were pretty much in the red zone and didn't get a field goal. But we got that field goal back anyways here in the second half. 17-10. Oh, my God. The defense. This is full kudos. K1 short. Jeremy Chin. This is one hell of an effort from this defense. Really containing and limiting Saquon Barkley. I haven't seen one explosive play downfield from the Giants. They have to grind their way down. Dust your hands off. 31-13. 235, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards for Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers, year 2. Barring my rant about Madden franchise mode, we're getting it back, and we're going to the Super Bowl. A little bit of a David and Goliath Super Bowl. 9-7 Panthers against the 13-3 Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, what's going on with the Jags? Did they sign anyone? Miles Jack, Josh Allen are X Factors. So they got Sewell, franchise left tackle, Lambeau, Henderson, Schobert. Do they still have Minshew? I mean, Minshew has a star dev in Madden. Like when I started this, right? So he... see. Yeah, they still got... hey, that's not a bad core. You can win with that. 82 star. James Robinson's a stud right now. Laviska Shenault's developing nice. They got Zach Pascal's a sim monster at slot wide receiver. They got Sewell at left tackle, a franchise left tackle. It's a very good offensive line. But nothing too special. Like, this is just they got Surtain at corner, so they got 3 really good really good. Pains me to say that as an Eagle fan, but Sidney Jones actually looks like he's catching on there well in Jacksonville in real life. We got KZ from the Falcons at free safety. Tony Jefferson off the street at strong safety. Still a winnable game, fellas. Still a winnable game. Because it's only year 2 and a Super Bowl's the end of a rebuild, I kind of want this to go on a little bit longer. So I'm not even going to hop in at any point. If we win, it's fine. It's a successful rebuild in the books, and we found the winning formula in Carolina. But if we lose, a little bit of a silver lining because I want to see what this team looks like a little bit further. So without further ado, Super Bowl Dallas, Carolina versus Jacksonville, as everybody predicted for the Super Bowl. Gardner Minshew versus Trey Lance. I mean, honestly, on paper, I think we have a better team. I'm being dead ass honest with you. Jacksonville able to score the first touchdown of the game. Carolina able to match that on our ensuing drive. Second drive ends up back-to-back touchdowns, 2 for 2. I don't know what winning formula we have on our defense right now, but it's really taken off in the sim. And it's looking like we're going into halftime with a 10-point lead. We're winning the Super Bowl. All it took was for someone at Madden to be tapped into my computer to hear my passionate rant about how I'm sick and tired of this predictable-ass sim. And they went, all right, here you go. Here's your Super Bowl, bud. Are you happy? 38-27. It only took us 2 years. 2 seasons. I mean, that's happened before. I think it was the Browns. It only took us 2 years with the Cleveland Browns to win the Super Bowl. But there you go. The Panthers with Matt Rule and Joe Brady pulling the strings on that offense. Trey Lance is what they needed. They needed redundancy, a franchise tackle. You kick in Greg Little to guard. You draft Linderbaum, one of the better interior linemen in the draft. You get Jonnu Smith in free agency from the Titans. Defensively, you just keep doing what you're doing. Draft well, maybe bring in a safety. But you trust Rasul Douglas to grow and develop. You trust Jeremy Chin to grow and develop. Trey Lance, as a rookie, almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns in his first Super Bowl. Super Bowl MVP. That's what he's saying to Kyle Wilson or Zach Wilson right now. At AT&T Stadium, the confetti is, I don't know, with baby blue and black for the Carolina Panthers. And their third Super Bowl appearance, third time is the charm. We got DJ Moore up there. We got Trey Lance. We got Brian Burns. That's not Brian Burns, that's Chris Barnes for some reason. The mystery player of this rebuild, and Matt Rule, who I firmly believe is an excellent hire. And I think him and Joe Brady, as long as if you're in Carolina, if we're going to put this in the scope of the Panthers, if you're a Panther fan in real life, you can find a way to kind of stop teams from poaching Joe Brady and keep him with Matt Rule. I think that is an absolute winning formula for you guys there in Carolina. But, you know, this is what happens. Sometimes you just find that perfect chemistry, that perfect formula in a rebuild, and it rewards you with a Super Bowl. And drafting Trey Lance for Carolina was the move. You look at Zach Wilson, went to the Saints, usually a cheesy offense. What were they, 8-8? Didn't make the Super Bowl, didn't make the playoffs. Trey Lance going to Carolina. It was the right move. So there we go, fellas. That's how this whole thing works. We win a Super Bowl, we move on. This save will be still here. I'm not going to delete it. We can revisit it at a later point. Maybe go on for a couple more years. See what Trey Lance. See if we can build a dynasty. But right now, we're in the business of rebuilding to a Super Bowl. So it's on to the next team. So let me know in the comment section below what team you guys want to see next in our Madden 21 realistic rebuilds. But Trey Lance for the Carolina Panthers. Well, it gets big time thumbs up. Much like you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, a thumbs up is very, very much appreciated as it helps out the video in the old YouTube algorithm and therefore gets more eyes on my stuff, which I greatly, greatly appreciate. Subscribe if it's your first time stopping by, trying to work our way to 150,000 subscribers. Would like to get that sooner than later. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.